Thank you, Charlene, for having me, and hello, fellow siblings. My name is Camille. I am the sister, conservator, and advocate for my brother, Kevin, who was born with cerebral palsy and has quadriplegia right now. I'm also the author of a new book called Hope for Secondhand Suffering, Tools for the Heart When You Can't Fix Your Loved One's Pain. It will be released August 17th this summer, and I'm really excited to share this with you. Well, I'm sure most of you can intuitively figure out what I mean by secondhand suffering. To keep it clear, I describe it many ways, but the way I relates most to me is the silent anguish and the heavy emotional burden that grips our hearts when walking alongside a loved one's deep pain. For others, it might be more easy to remember it as just the fact that we suffer because someone we love suffers. Often, it's an invisible type of emotional suffering characterized by deep empathy and a heavy burden with no easy fix or solution. While the topic is broad and wide for many, I believe that many of us SIs understand this feeling quite easily, and we're quite used to it. I began writing my book about 10 years ago at a time in my life when I was grieving the loss of my mom's sudden death and my oldest child moving out of state. I had no idea until I began this writing process how much my brother's life would become the most character-forming emotional imprint on my life and the catalyst for my own journey seeking answers and pursuing emotional wholeness. My brother was institutionalized at the early age of 3.5 years old, which presented so many tangled emotions for me as a sibling. For many of you, you may have had your sibling at home with you and still do as an adult with your own family. This represents a different set of challenges. Yet both share a common thread of being put in a situation where we have no vote. And we all carry a unique love for our special siblings, but we're left without easy answers to solve our many emotional and complex emotions and problems that we're faced with. I think by giving this experience a name, and that being secondhand suffering, it releases some of the stigma around many of our feelings. And it can validate them. And also, most importantly, I think it opens the door for a conversation and a path to emotional healing. For me, my life progressed through what appeared to be a very quote-unquote normal life on the outside, except for one thing. I was always carrying an ongoing, dull, empathetic ache in my soul for my brother, who was living a very different life than I. As I grew older, I grew tired of many well-meaning people trying to help my soul heal with religious pat answers and vacuous worldly phrases that left me really unsatisfied. And I spent a lot of time in my thought life on a journey where I was diving deep beneath the surface, seeking an antidote for an invisible suffering that was spurred on by my brother's plight. Kevin and I always had a deep heart connection from early on, and that connection has never left to this day. It only grew with time, and I couldn't shake my unwavering empathy for what he must be going through every hour of his life. I began to believe I knew his thoughts and a growing need to be his voice. I hope that I can also be a voice for many others who have loved ones going through a life-limiting condition where they too experience this kind of empathy that hurts and a burden that is truly unique, where our loved one's pain really becomes our own pain. My hope is that this book is a help to you. It is a partial memoir and my own journey of my progressive, honest wrestling, what I believe to be the universal cries of the heart of so many people. I deal with questions such as the question of why, and topics including guilt, grief, justice, faith, community, advocacy, God, finding purpose out of pain, and the pursuit of hope. I try to come alongside readers, step by step, offering personal anecdotes, honest insights, some practical tips, and my own spiritual reflections to help others facing similar secondhand suffering struggles. While my journey may not look like others or yours at all, I do believe it can serve as an inside look for others at what many secondhand sufferers go through and what we may be feeling at times, such as being invisible and the feeling of guilt. And often we can feel lonely. So sometimes I think just feeling seen, heard, and known can make all the difference. My book is now available for pre-order anywhere books are sold, and would love to have you consider pre-ordering or just the book release will be on August 17th for delivery. I would also love you to consider following me on my author Facebook or Instagram pages at the @ and then CamilleBlock.author. My name is spelled CamilleBlock.author. And then I have a website with more information if you're interested. It's www.camilleblock.cc. And I would just love you to come along on the journey. Whether you buy the book or whether you forward a post to someone or just read the content for encouragement, I really look forward to connecting with you in some way. Thank you so much, Charlene, for your commitment to the siblings of our special loved ones. I wish I had known others like you and had resources like this earlier on. Take care, everybody.